Hello and welcome to Chatterbox. Tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your neighborhood possum, and tell your alpaca.
It's spooky season.
It's spooky season and it is Chatterbox bitch. So we have a doozy of a topic today for you guys. What if the people pulling the strings on a world scale didn't just sit in government offices, but they sat in luxury hotels? And maybe some of these people own some of the biggest corporations. Are they the 1%?
Tell me about the 1%. This is all for entertainment purposes.
Billionaires make up less than 1% of the world, and they control literally everything. And that's not a conspiracy. That is 100% true. And in 2009, Jesse Ventura aired an episode that took an aim straight to the heart of global power, and that is the Bilderberg Group. He called out billionaires, politicians, media elites, and basically said that they were meeting in secret and hinted that the Bilderberg Group specifically has plans for population control, such as a plan for depopulation on a global scale. And then he also talked to a doctor that called COVID in 2009. She literally said exactly what COVID is and was. And she was leaving the country because she was like, I don't want to be here because something bad is about to happen. In 2009. She was 11 years off. And they also talked about the 7 men who rule the world.
That's the fucking Illuminati. Okay?
Well, there's people above these secret societies. There's still people above them.
It's like this, you said 7. I always had thought it was the 9 families, like the rich fucking, like the Rockefellers, those families, like that are so fucking secretive that you just know they're rich, but they have such a deep history. There's many other families. I did a lot of research as a child. I cannot tell you all this information in this very moment because that's a lot of information. 7, 9 families, rich as fuck, but you don't know a lot about them. They're very
secretive for a reason. And have you ever watched Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura? Because we are going to be reviewing season 1, episode 5 of Conspiracy Theory. We're going to be talking about some of the topics that were in that episode. And actually, Conspiracy Theory, if you didn't know, was pulled from the air 3 years after they started. And today, as we dive into this lost episode of Secret Societies, we're going to ask the questions that nobody wants to ask. Was Jesse Ventura canceled for being crazy? Or maybe
he pushed it a little too far, I think.
Maybe he was saying some shit.
He was before a mayor and then
a Navy SEAL.
So he's like, I have clearance. Like, why is everyone acting like I'm some terrorist?
Yeah.
Because he wants to give us the answers that we all want to know. You know, he didn't care the consequences, but since he was on a TV show, that's why he made it so long without getting, like, he was too publicized to be able to just be. So they just ended his show because he was too smart for that. He's been, you know, in the government before. But I feel like since his show is so old, that if this were to come out now, this would never be allowed because nobody thought like that then. They overlooked it. They thought it was just one of those true or false shows or entertainment only. In reality, he was trying to find information for people, and all this shit is fucked up, really. But now, this show would never, ever be aired or allowed to be a show made this day and age. But no one watched TV like that, and I feel like
I need my water.
You know what I mean? And I don't think people watch TV or listen to news like they do now. I feel like people are more aware of what's going on, whereas people weren't as aware then.
Speaking of, if we haven't said our names yet before we continue, I'm Becca, and this is Kyla. If you're a new listener and you don't know. But anyways, We should probably like introduce ourselves at the beginning.
I don't
but
want anybody to know my name. Mystery, come on.
You don't know me.
I'm the mystery one and knows the name up.
But okay, Jesse Ventura had an episode called The Perfect Police State. It's like season 2, episode 4. That episode has been completely wiped from the internet. When I tried to watch this episode through Rumble, when I was not going through a Russian search engine to watch it, it would play for like a minute and then it would just say something went wrong and my screen would go black and it wouldn't play. And I was looking up on Reddit and everybody on Reddit was like, oh yeah, you have to get a fucking VPN from Canada to watch this episode because the US has blocked it.
If you visit Canada, you can watch it when you're in Canada?
Well, I mean, you could purchase a VPN in Canada, so it shows that that's where you're Google searching from. But
if I were to go in Canada, I could just look it up on one of their computers at the library.
I mean, you probably could.
All right. If you guys are ever in Canada, look this up for us and let us know.
So I actually found the episode through the Russian search site. I had to pull some strings. I got a free Canada VPN thing. I was like, this might be sketchy. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see what this episode is. Whether it fucks my phone up or not, I don't care. And literally the episode gave me fucking chills. He was talking about the concentration camps where they hold immigrants, illegal immigrants. They hold entire families. They have 10-foot barbed wire fences. And he goes to question them. And he was like, what is this place? And he's like, it's just a facility to keep people safe. And he was like, keep who safe? Immigrants. And he's like, keep them safe from what? What are you keeping them safe from? They didn't even have an answer. And then this one guy, this is what shook me to my core. He found, apparently, all over the U.S., there's areas that are completely fenced off. Now they have black, like a metal sheath between it, so now you can't see it. They used to have regular barbed wire fences, and when you would look through, there was just thousands of giant caskets to hold up to 50 bodies.
They've been doing this stuff for probably a long time. If this video came out
In 2010?
this sounds very similar to Alligator Alcatraz, with all these immigrants that are getting deported safely home, but there's planes that are literally like going out in the middle of the ocean and then coming back. Like they never fully went there. I've told you about this, right?
I know, it's just fucking, it kills
I mean,
me
the
to
fact
hear
that
about it.
it's very similar to what you're saying.
It kills
10
me.
years ago, who would make this up? Truthfully, like who would really make this up? Like someone went out of their way to check these flights and they weren't going back to where they came from. They were dropping the airplane stopped in the middle of the ocean and came back. Like, I don't know. And so how can we, like, if we were to really figure this out, we would need to find names of people that got deported and contact their family and see if they ever fucking made it home. That's the reality of it. But who has that information? Not us. And I don't know. I just seen this girl post on the internet recently that the government has made it, it's like a law that if anyone thinks of you as suspect, if you are of color, like from like with like tan or color, or you speak Spanish, you could be working at your job, you could be out at the grocery store. They have a right to question you if they think you're a fucking suspect. Like it's fucked up. Like it's like underlying racism in a sense, like because of like all of the immigrants that have been coming to America, they're not profiling any other ethnicity. It seems like just like, oh, if you speak Spanish, oh, if you have a darker color on your skin, you can be targeted anywhere at this point in this age. So
it's so fucking weird because people come to America for the freedom we have, and now it's like, don't come here. It's not safe. When I looked on Instagram or like TikToks, like other like it. Sorry, it would be like, I'm from America. I want to know what other countries are saying about us right now. And like apparently like Australia has like a like do not fly to the US like travel advisory. Like, and there's one in Sweden or Switzerland as well. Like there's a warning, don't go to America right now.
It's funny that they can say that about us, but there's places they tell us not to go. I wonder if it's truthfully not safe or if they don't want us to go because then we will learn stuff. I think there are probably places you really shouldn't go that are unsafe. Like Egypt, you can go, but that place is for Americans. If they know you're American, it doesn't matter. A taxi driver, where you get your food, they will scam you. You cannot trust nobody. They could charge you triple of what a normal person would get charged. They could just basically just scamming you like constantly. You could never feel safe there because they know you're American. This is what I'm getting. This is what I am being led to believe. Like this could be completely wrong. Like if you're just smart and you don't take taxis and you just avoid people. But how can you really know though if you're ordering food and you don't read that language? How do you know?
Yeah.
That's probably one place I'm still interested in visiting, but I've led away from visiting. But there's other places that are worse. Like, can you think of a place right now that you wouldn't want to visit because you know it's not safe?
Russia?
Why Russia? Because of the war?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than like the war zone, like somewhere where it would just be like, you wouldn't think, oh, I'm not going to go there. I'm trying to think.
I guess because of like the war in Iran or whatever.
Not war. Not war.
No,
related.
like they're not warring right now, but I feel like most Americans are like, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I want to go to Iran for vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because it's like subliminally, they have like made us like kind of like not want
Okay.
to.
Colombia. That is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's, yeah.
That is. I just looked it up because I was like, I see this shit all
What
the
else
fucking
is
time. So there's Colombia, Egypt, Guatemala, and Honduras. Urging travelers to reconsider travel due to serious safety and security. This is level 3. I'm not talking level 1, level 2. This is level 3. There's different levels in like security travel. I looked into it.
Colombia has been known for trafficking, not just for like sex, like body parts, weird shit, like dark web shit.
That's what I was trying to say when I was like, think of a place you wouldn't visit.
No.
Colombia. That's so because Colombia's pretty.
I had a friend of mine stay in Honduras for a
But
month.
Honduras, there's a cruise port area.
She was a nurse, so she's
There's
there for
literally
like
a
4
whole
months.
part of Honduras, but I've heard that it's not like Honduras. They have literally gentrified it, right? They've made it an island, a cruise island, but it's like right outside that zone. I bet you it fucking changes. So it says Colombia, serious risks are associated with crime, terrorism, civil unrest. Egypt, serious risks are associated with terrorism, civil unrest. Guatemala, serious risks, crime, civil unrest. Guyana, crime, Honduras, crime, Jamaica. And then Madagascar. I wrote about that. Violent protests, rioting, violent crime, particularly after dark. I've been to Jamaica. I think if you stay in Montego Bay or Ocho Rios, where the resorts, you should be fine.
This guy who I was talking to, Casey, last night, he was literally telling me that in Thailand, there's so many times where martial law will happen and you cannot leave wherever you are at until sunrise. And he's like, that happens way more often than people think. He said Bangkok, like specifically, because he's like, that's like the area that I used to live. He was like, there was like so many times where I was like visiting a friend and then I would like try to leave the apartment building and there would be like military people outside and they're like, you can't leave until sunrise. Martial law.
Is it for safety?
Yeah.
What happened?
Like just gang violence.
So something's going on outside that's like fucking like they can't stop it type of thing.
Yeah, like
They let it stop.
he said that there's a lot of gang
It's like-
violence in Bangkok.
So basically, something happens between two rival gangs and they don't have enough militia. It's better to protect rather than to fight.
Yeah.
them.
And he said that Bangkok is specifically known for this happening regularly. I had no fucking idea. He was telling me this last night. Like, that's crazy.
I really didn't have any desire to go to Bangkok because, like, even though it's like a main hub to get to Phuket, where I wanted to go, like, it was like, oh, do Phuket, do Bangkok, the city. Because obviously Bangkok, you think of The Hangover, but also I like the city, but I'm not a huge city person,
I know.
right?
I want the mountains.
I went to New
ocean.
York City because it's fucking New York City, but there's no other city that you hear. You're like, it's New York. New York. New York. Ain't no other place have a song about it.
I do want to go to one giant city, though.
New York is worth it.
I want to
Like-
go to Istanbul.
Okay.
I want to do that. I want to go to one of the mosques.
Pretty cool. I mean, I want to go to like the temples.
Really?
Thailand, there's a there.
Apparently,
It's just
Istanbul is actually like New York times 10. It's crazy. It was really cool. I've been interested in it.
one place
But-
I won't go is Dubai. Anyway,
Yeah,
continue.
Dubai. Yeah, Dubai is kind of lame.
Anyway, you
unless you're
guys,
a rich person.
travel information. It honestly does have stuff to do with what we're talking about because of places they're trying to consider not safe to travel. They say, like, don't travel to the U.S. Maybe don't come. Who knows? I wouldn't come right now, honestly.
I wouldn't. There's nothing going on here right now, bitch.
But really, when you compare it, you're not going to be in harm, but you could get questioned, and you just don't want to deal with that crap, which is annoying. But it's not like you're going to get hurt, I would say, like other countries. You know what I mean? So there is a difference.
Yes.
Like, we're not. Yeah.
We're also chatterboxing right now, and that is literally what we do because
Explain yourself.
it's
Stop
literally
yourself.
our name.
Understand. Listen, do you guys understand? You don't have to explain yourself. They know this. It is not really off topic because it is a generalized off. It's a little off topic, but it is a general. Has to do with thing. What we're talking about.
What?
Thank you.
Sorry, not sorry.
You are sorry
Back to
because you don't need to explain yourself.
topic.
You drink.
In the episode of Jesse Ventura's talking about the secret societies specifically,
The 975.
he talks about the Bilderberg Group, which is a secretive and power coordinating group, and this is what Google has to say. On reality checks basis, Bilderberg's meetings are private by invite-only events, and in 2009, they had the Bilderberg meeting from May 14th to May 16th at the Astor Palace in Greece. And they also had published a participant list and agenda themes. And one of the main agenda themes was financial crisis. A short quote from the episode that we are reviewing is, he explains the Bilderberg Group as a group of the world's elite who meet once a year at luxury or locations where not a lot of people can go for reasons, typically money. Apparently, some of the agendas that they talked about, specifically besides the financial crisis, was a depopulation and forced vaccination plot. During this episode, Jesse Ventura also features a doctor who alleges by an elite source that the state official warned her about a coming pandemic where vaccinations would be forced, specifically designed to reduce the population. It also mentions squalene in vaccines that causes so many issues in your body, but typically squalene leads to sterilization. So that little clip, you can literally Google search this and it'll come up as a TikTok because this went viral on TikTok in 2020. But also, there's episodes of Dora that you cannot find, like even on TikTok, because it's just censored. Like, he went too far with it, like talking about those caskets and stuff. I could not find that on any US stuff.
The fact that they even allowed him to have that show is crazy. I don't know how he got away with it. Because now, if this were to be talked about, people would be like, what the fuck? If it was on a regular show getting put out right now, it would be fucked for the government in our society. I feel like more people would see it. A lot of things that happened back in the day, you might not see as much because everything different. You see old clips like you used to, right? You gotta look for these, like TV shows, commercials, news, things that happened in the past that you may never know about because it was popular, but not obviously popular enough to be made in history.
The internet is way more censored now than it was
That's what I'm saying,
in 2009. They really censor stuff. Blessing.
Amazing.
Blessing.
I've seen them so much lately. I need to go. Don't call it stupid.
So, back on our bullshit. So, the Bilderberg Group, specifically in this episode, he describes them as a one world order. He says that it's been going on since the Crusades. And apparently, 120 people run the world with their vision for the planet, which is what they call a globalist system. So this group of people from Bilderberg, their tactics is to depopulate the world, which is reaching upwards of 9 billion people. And the target, allegedly, eye roll, is to KILL 4.4 billion people. Because cutting down the masses is what's going to make us a more manageable group of people to control. So the agenda from the Bilderberg Group is, I mean, it's not untrue, because Bill Gates literally said this in a TED Talk around 2009, 2010. He said, if we do a good job of vaccinations and medications, we can cut the population. It is not the exact Bill Gates population. There it is.
Billion people. That's heading up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we should lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
That is all you fucking need to know. And Bill Gates, no secret, a part of the Bilderberg Group. So the point is, he literally just said, if we do a good job of vaccinations, healthcare, we can depopulate the world.
Like, why was everyone clapping?
Because probably everybody in that room was a part of that. I think it's very obvious what they're doing. And they want to control the masses via media and politics. They want to cut down the masses by poisoning our food and our medications.
Yeah, they don't do it fast. It's like a slow death for everybody.
They want to chemically target our immune systems.
Biological warfare.
And the doctor who spoke, Dr. Rima Lebo, she literally also says that aspartame is found in all of those diet sodas. It's found in a lot of those like healthier sodas. Aspartame, she says, is poison. It is a sweet poison. She said it's a chemical made from aspartic acid, and it breaks down as formaldehyde in the body. Well, what people are not told is that formaldehyde affects every organ of the body. And she said, it's not one Diet Coke that's going to kill you. Over time, you're adding so much more formaldehyde to your body. This has completely turned me off to drinking diet sodas or sugar-free drinks, because those typically have aspartame. To be quite honest, I've stopped drinking Red Bull. I can't drink it anymore. I really started drinking it again after I was pregnant for some reason, because it just felt good. And then I was watching this video and it scarred me for life. Now I'm like, oh my God, I've drank that so many times. Apparently, some of the flavor attributed to Red Bull, why it's like so unique, is a breakdown of mealworms and crickets.
I thought you were going to say semen.
No. Mealworms and crickets.
Like, oh my God, don't tell.
No. It's mealworms and crickets that are all ground up into this fine yellowish powder. And then it's put into this thing. And that's what gives it this flavor. And I'm just like, oh my God, I've been fucking drinking bugs. I've been drinking bugs.
What else? At least it's real. You'd rather drink bugs or a fucking fake chemical that can fucking harm you? At least I ain't gonna harm you with fake bugs.
Drink bugs.
I'd rather drink bugs in my juice and not taste it than fucking have a chemical in my drink. I said it. Timon and Pumbaa, bitch.
Shrimps is bugs, and I'll eat shrimp, but I just...
Fuck, if you were eating the roach of the sea.
But I don't want to eat mealworms and cricket.
So you'd rather eat chemicals?
No. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not drinking aspartame.
either or.
Neither.
Have to pick one.
No.
Because if we were living in like a society where we didn't eat normal food, if you were hungry, bitch, you would eat grubs.
I would, but I don't have to right now.
But
I would if it was the end of the world and I would eat bugs.
they're more nutritious for you than chemicals. So
Shrimps is bugs. If you eat shrimp, you eat bugs.
gotta accept it.
So, Dr. Rima Lebeau claims that she had an aristocratic elite patient that confided in her about a future pandemic that would be engineered along with forced vaccinations as a strategy to decrease the world's population. She claims that squalene is one of the main ingredients used in newer vaccines. It's not used in all vaccines. She claims that squalene can contribute to infertility in both men and women. Over time, the more vaccines that you get, you'll experience what is called a slow death. She also references that since the 1970s, the elites have been working on vaccines aimed at population control as a long-term agenda rather than just a one-time event. So basically, the gist of it is this guy was interviewing this girl on the street, just a random girl. She had a Hillary Clinton shirt on and all this. The top of the post said, "I miss these types of liberals," which I thought was comical. But what I thought was incredible was the way that this girl said this. He was like, "What do you think about vaccinations and how they should be forced on the population?" And she goes, "Honestly," she's like, "I don't think that vaccinations should be forced on the people." She said, "I think vaccinations should be 100% voluntary, never mandated, because I feel like we should stop big corporations such as like Walmart's and Kroger's from selling." She said, "I think that we should only have local shops. I think that we should cut out anything that has to do with preservatives in food." And she was like, "I think that there's so many other ways that we can do to help ourselves and our health than to do something like a vaccine that is entirely 100% experimental. It is not natural. It is not something that's been around since the beginning of time. Vaccines are new. Vaccines are fucking new. Okay? Like within the last 200 years or so, it's not a natural thing. And vaccines have helped society progress and get through such as the swine flu and all of that. I'm not dogging them 100% because it really has helped in certain aspects of life.
Yeah.
Because if there's an actual outbreak.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
But the COVID one was super weird how it was so quick.
Made in a lab.
Yeah, I mean,
Entertainment only.
entertainment purposes only. But like,
Dude, that's why I already knew that. That's better protect shit. And then look at all these people that have gotten fucked up over it, passed away, or just are. They said there's differences to them now. Like someone says that ever since they got COVID, they can't smell anymore, or something like just small things. But enough to know it's different now. Other fucking illnesses didn't do that to you. Maybe polio,
yeah.
right? That's like a bone thing, right? But that's different.
Yeah, society has moved through phases, okay? There have been illnesses that have had severe outbreaks,
But that's different. Like, you try to fix it by a cure and
Mhm.
care, but that's the thing, they don't care.
Dr. Rima Lebeau literally calls it. She calls COVID 11 years before it happens. She literally said in the episode, and she frames it as secret strategies from elites that prefer to keep their lives private, like completely hidden from society. They also choose to not vaccinate their children. And that's because they know what vaccinations do to people. The fact that Elon Musk and all of these other people who have children do not vaccinate their kids.
How do you know they don't?
Because he has publicly said it
He
before in
has?
interviews. The fact that they don't vaccinate their kids is enough proof for me.
We as adults aren't forced to, but kids have to go to school, right? So it's like that's the start of not having a choice because your kid goes to school, get through the system, but that should all change. School is good, but is it? Because what are you really teaching us? What's real? What isn't? What do you want us to think is real? Like, who created the history books? Like, everything going to be rewritten differently? Like,
Mhm.
at this point, I question everything. I don't even know it's true. I'm just enjoying my life. That's why I'm traveling and fuck the government. Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I was kidding.
So
Don't come after me.
when I was looking this shit up on Google, it was like literally giving me all of these like fact check websites, which I thought was so fucking funny. I was like, damage control, damage control. This episode comes out from Jesse Ventura, and now they're all of a sudden like, oh, we got to get the fact checkers on this shit. So then when people look it up, that's the first thing that pulls up. Like, you fucking bitches. Like, they literally, like, the fact that there's like fact checker websites is literally just damage control. The first thing when people search it, just so that they don't try to go any deeper. You know what I mean? So the claim is there's an elite plan to engineer a pandemic, or that they did engineer a pandemic to force vaccinations to reduce the population. Independent fact checkers, the CIA, honestly, they say that there's no credible peer-reviewed evidence that supports this claim. It is entirely speculative. And fact checkers have rated similar false claims bullshit, but whatever. Then also another claim. Squalene in vaccines is an infertility agent. Independent fact checkers say squalene is a naturally occurring compound in humans and also typically found in flu vaccines. It is used in some vaccines as an adjuvant. So not in COVID-19 vaccines, but there's also no credible evidence that squalene causes infertility or slow death as alleged. I call bullshit. Bullshit! I do. Also, vaccination programs, claim number 3. Vaccination programs have a mandatory, compulsory component that is disguised as voluntary. Fact checkers say that in the US and many countries, vaccines are recommended or mandated for certain populations, such as schools, healthcare workers, and the wholesale claim of mandatory global vaccination to depopulate lacks true documented support and investigation. Additionally, in 2009, there was the swine flu vaccination that was not mandatory across all populations, but was going on in other countries and in parts of the United States at the time. I don't even remember that because I was too busy being a kid.
It's not mandatory, but if you want to get this vaccination, you should.
Healthcare workers and
I didn't
schools.
have to get it, but yeah,
I didn't have
healthcare
to.
workers did. And I worked in healthcare. We were a healthcare office.
That's crazy.
If they would have made me, I would have quit.
I was interviewing for a job around 2020, and it was a government job. This job paid $50 an hour. I actually got selected for an interview. And it's kind of funny that in 2009, Dr. Rima Lebeau literally predicts COVID-19 and was basically saying that like vaccinations are going to be forced on the people. And when I was in this interview with a government agency, they told me that I would get paid $50 an hour, no overtime allowed. But I mean, $50 an hour is good pay. And they told me in order to keep continuing on in the interview process, because I got to interview 1, there's 2 interviews. They said, before your next interview, if you really want to be a part of this program, you have to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And I said, no. I was like, I can't opt out of it. And they were like, you can't work in a government agency and not have the vaccines. I was like, then absolutely not.
You said that to them?
Yeah. I said, no. And then he was like, is there any specific reason why? And I said, I don't want to be forced to make a decision that I'm not ready to make right now. So I opted out and I didn't do this job. $50 an hour. And when I told my dad, he was like, you should have just taken it or like faked that you took it or something. And I was like, I don't want to do that because if the government finds out that I faked it, I'd really be in trouble. Working in that government field, you're also subject to random drug testing. And mama likes the things that are on God's green earth that is all natural.
natural.
all natural shit, you know what I mean? The claim that Dr. Riwan Lebo makes is that the WHO has been preparing vaccinations to complete their goal for sterility, although Google says there's no evidence of this. And Jesse Ventura is an insane individual for going on screen and saying all of this, according to the fucking Google. Bilderberg meetings exist. That is fact. They are private. That is fact. They do only host for invite only. That is 100% fact. But what doesn't hold up is what they talk about in their meetings, because they're not publicized. And they're not publicized for a fucking reason. So, Bilderberg, they meet in some of the most beautiful places where it's not really easy for a lot of middle or lower class Americans to go. You can't really get in, and it's very private. And the participants of the Bilderberg Group come from politics, government, business, finance, academia, media, nonprofit organizations, NGO leadership, FEMA. And let's just talk about a few names that have been known to be in the Bilderberg Group. Some names are Henry Kissinger, former Secretary of State, David Rockefeller, a frequently associated participant of the Bilderberg Group. There's also like diplomats. There's also names such as Bill Gates that we talked about earlier. She's also been part of it.
BJ, up, out.
Condoleezza Rice, Kenneth Griffith, Avril Haines. No. We have several other people, such as like Jeremy Hunt, the UK Member of Parliament. Pablo Isla is the vice chair of Nestle Corporation. Nestle Water.
Oh, okay.
Nestle Chocolate. Yeah. Isn't that fucking weird? That one of these globalists is one of the major leaders of a producer of water and chocolate.
You know what I can't get Trapper to do?
What?
Stop drinking water bottles.
I tried not to, but
I just want to drink purified water out of the faucet or the Brita, but he won't switch over. You drink it every day because it's water. That's all I know. I need to just go buy it one day without even asking him. There's so much bad stuff in the water. Gang, plastic. The forever chemicals, like what they talk about with your pots and pans. And that's another thing. I want new pots and pans because they're not ceramic or stainless steel. Like, I'm consistently poisoning. Even though I'm healthy, I still feel like I need to get rid of all this stuff and invest in better stuff.
it's a process because we're not fucking millionaires and there's only so much money that we can spend at a time, and it's hard to fucking buy shit. Like, I bought a few ceramic pans from fucking Goodwill. Legit.
There's literally ceramic pans at like Burlington that I wanted to get, but they're like $9 each. You know what I mean? So
It's like all adds up.
I'm on a budget. I travel so much that honestly, I'm like, I need to like, can't slow down because it's like my addiction. But it's hard to buy anything else. I have a list of things I need and want that I need to like find a way to add it in my budget over time.
Well, let me know what you want. I can add it to my Christmas and birthday list for you. I want to get friends things that they want or need. I don't want to just get like random shit, you know what I mean? So like, just let me know. If you really want this,
Oh my God.
I'll get you one, you know? Her birthday's coming up very soon.
a curling.
You want that?
I'm just thinking of. I literally just made this list.
Oh my God. I do that same shit.
Because it's for myself.
Yeah, I do the same shit though.
Things I want: curling wand, blow dryer, vlog camera, new vape, always new clothes. Myself, because I pick out my lip liner peels, like you see on TikTok. New ceramic or stainless steel pots and pans, Polaroid film. Just stuff that I want to get for myself.
I'll keep an eye out.
I feel weird. I don't like tough. I know I want to leave the list out and like Chopper see it, but it's funny. I don't even think about it like that. It's just If I could fit in extra money, I need extra money first, but it would be like my eyeglasses first.
It's hard being a girl. It's expensive.
Things that I want, I would make use out of if I had it. I have a blow dryer brush, but it's not a regular blow dryer. I can't just blow dry my hair with a brush.
Yeah, you have to let it air dry for a certain amount of time before you can even use it, or you can fry your hair.
Sometimes I do it when it's still wet.
I had my hair falling out really bad for a while, like earlier in the summer. I was literally having handfuls of hair coming out when I was getting all of my Dutch testing for like all my hormones and stuff. They were like, the reason why your hair is falling out is because your cortisol is so high. Like, you're so stressed out that your hair is falling out. They're like, do you have one day a week where you do not drive anywhere and you are just home for a majority of the day? And I was like, no. And they were like, you need to make time for that. You need to make time to just relax. And if you do leave the house, do something that's actually enjoyable. Go on a walk in nature. Literally, my doctor at a private healthcare clinic said this to me. Unbelievable. Because you go to the hospital and I'm like, damn, all my hair's falling out. They're like, you want a pill for that? Literally. We got pills for that. Okay. Like, so stupid. But also, we're like getting off topic. So this is another name that literally when I saw this, jaw dropped, but I'm also like, why am I surprised? Guess who's also on the leader of the Bilderberg group?
What's his name?
Albert Bourla. That's the owner of Pfizer. Pfizer is what makes a majority of the vaccines right now. A big majority.
Bro, Big Pharma is controlled.
The fact that he's one of the leaders on the fucking board.
Everything is corrupt. I feel like
Everything is corrupt.
Everything.
Everything
You
is
just
also...
have to kind of like, even like, just, I don't know, TSA, like the whole idea of going through and every time is like cancerous when you go underneath those thingies. That's scary.
Yeah,
People
and
that travel every day to go from work to Chicago or something. I feel like I go under it not enough. It probably does something, but there's some shit about those metal detectors.
the things that spin. So this is what happened.
This fucking dumb bitch.
This was the last episode that Jesse Ventura on Conspiracy Theory was going to air. And the episode got pulled.
Essentially what it said was that he tried to sue TSA.
Oh.
It said it was not explicitly canceled by the TSA lawsuit. Rather, the show's future was in doubt after Ventura sued the Department of Homeland Security and TSA over the scanning and pat-down procedures. The lawsuit, which was filed in January 2011, was about his experiences as a frequent traveler with a titanium hip. But it appears to have coincided with the end of the show after 2 seasons. This key part of the story behind the show's conclusion. When he sued the Department of Homeland Security and TSA, alleging that the warrantless and suspicionless scans and body searches violated his rights, he specifically cited being pulled aside for pat-downs because of his titanium hips. It was him who tried to sue them. This could be what they want us to see. There could have been more to this lawsuit. There could have been more things that he had done that caused the show to be canceled. That's what I think.
In the episode, it was speculated that they had said that those spinny things is speculative. I'm not 100% saying this, but he speculated that there's a connection to breast cancer, prostate cancer, and thyroid cancer for those machines. That was something he claimed in the episode, apparently. But the episode never aired, so we will never know. I found that in a Reddit forum, so who fucking knows? Was Jesse Ventura revealing too much? The answer is yes. The network will never admit that, and the public will never know the truth, although I feel like it's pretty fucking obvious.
Never get told the real truth, but as long as you know, I guess that's all that matters.
I mean, as long as you use your fucking noggins. And when you combine bold claims, legal risk, and advertisement, of course there's going to be absolutely pushback from public officials, and there's public officials who would like to suppress information that Jesse Ventura was pushing for other people to know. And that's because the bigger picture here is Jesse Ventura is a very outspoken man who has a lot of enemies. Those enemies want him silenced, but they can't kill him because he's in the public eye. And if he died suddenly like that, everybody would know that it was them. So it's like one of those things. It's like a double crosser type shit. So, in conclusion, whether you believe Jesse Ventura was exposing the beginnings of a global agenda or simply chasing the dragon, one thing is for sure, he did strike a nerve powerful enough to get him silenced. The Bilderberg meetings are real, the participants are real, and the secrecy also real.
More than you. There's more secrets than there is truth. I'm sorry.
I mean, we've all been conditioned, though. We've all been conditioned to believe they have our best interest. I feel like the more we continue on in life, we're like realizing that they don't have our best interest at heart.
I feel like one of their biggest goals is to not have everybody in a community together
and to keep us separated.
So
Keep us
just remember
separated.
that we need to stick together and that we're not all so different. We're more alike than you think. Just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean that you can't be one as a community.
Yeah, I know I'm going to get flack for the whole vaccination talk earlier, but I don't give a fuck.
You will?
It's my life.
No, this is fucking all entertainment purposes. So no, you can't flag this.
Yeah, because
Actually, so I don't
Because-
know what the fuck she's talking about.
because literally none of this is even real right now.
Thank you so much for coming on Chatterbox.
As always, tell your friends, tell your lovers, tell your enemies, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your possum, tell your neighborhood rat.
And keep it loud and keep it curious.